What's up, amigos? Commander Jaime here today. Today I'm going to show off a special combo video. This is going to be Zorga with Megacolony. So I'm going to go into some of the key cards, show some interesting plays, and then also some suggestions moving forward. And so let's get right into it.
Check out Nex Lvl Gaming's playmats, and they actually have a lot of mats with your favorite units. They're great quality playmats too as well, and you can use the affiliated link as a 10% discount on your next purchase. Also, I've become an official Metafy coach for Cardfight Vanguard, and so if you ever want to get one-on-one time with me to help your skill level, go ahead and book a session with me. I can help with premium format, standard, or even clans like Aqua Force and many others, and even YouTube as well. I just want to help fellow amigos and make an impact within the community itself. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message too. You can use the link down below in the description to book your session as well.
So right off the back with Zorga, it has the Alchemagic ability. What's really cool with this Zorga, it's more consistent than the original one, so you would prefer Grave Zorga. So you can Soul Blast one, discard a card, and grab any order, so that way you can play any number or multitude of orders that you want. But some of the key ones that we want to play are like Clouded Miasma, Yea Wandering Souls, and Tearful Malice. So these really are the key ones to synergize as well. And with that, when you do Alchemagic or just playing an order in general, these come back. It's just that you get the full benefit of both the skills of plus 10k and a crit if you do Alchemagic. Otherwise, you have to do one or the other. So that's the key thing. Really, what makes this pretty cool is the new strat that's coming out or has come out with Megacolony. Let me see. There we go. This one, when it's face up in the G zone, you can counterblast one, put a card, a rear guard into soul, and actually reduce the opponent's Vanguard by 10k. So then all of a sudden your prison dragons become a little more threatening. So that's why it makes it worth. And because we have access to a card like Gredora, then you can also shout out G guards, force rest them. They have to rewrite the following turn, but also on attack, you're able to soul blast and actually get another attack. And that's where you can get a card like Hell Demise, where it's on place, choose another rear guard, stand it. So you get more attacks and you can literally restand one of these prison dragons. So you get potentially 3 attacks that way with just prison dragons. And Zorga, if you play standard, it's limited to 2 attacks, but if we can get multitude attacks from prison dragon, then it's ideal. So just so an example is first ride, if you're going second, you want to ride Gredora, you want to do her first. So you'll counterblast, flip the new card in the G zone, and depending on what you have set up wise, you can use it immediately. And so you can pay that counterblast and put a card like, let's say, the dog Shadow Cloak in there and be able to reduce 10k to the opponent's Vanguard. So now, depending on the order card that you may have, a good card is Yea Wandering Souls, because if you go second, more than likely you'll have the Ticket Shield. So then you can, not Alchemagic, but play the order, discard the Ticket Shield, and now you have extra drive for Gredora. So Gredora will have quad check, and once that's done resolving, then these guys can revive themselves. There are ways that you can get them into the drop zone. If you only have one, no big deal, just work with what you have. So in this example, since we just played a normal order, no Alchemagic was involved, you have to pick one. So you could pick the credibility, so you have some crit pressure. And again, our opponent's Vanguard is either 2k or 3k because we minus 10k them. So you can do a sequence of attacks where you can just poke for 5k. This is actually something they have to drop for 5k. Then you have something that's a little bit bigger. These, ideally, you want bigger boosters. The Dorcas are a good examples. They could be 13k boosters, so 13 plus 5 makes 18k. Demands a little more shield. Then finally, when you attack with Gredora, you can Soul Blast, let's say the Shadow Cloak that you use for Soul. Bring back Hell Demise over here. Restand Prison Dragon. So you do your drive checks. Remember, quad check. Here we got a crit. So what you could do, depending on your opponent's damage, if they're at 4, you could put the crit on Hell Demise, so then they have to guard everything moving forward. Or you can stack onto the Prison Dragon if you want more pressure and power. So it really just depends on your drive checks from there. And then you can attack accordingly with Hell Demise. And this is 5 plus 13, 18, and then any triggers you put onto it, and of course they're minus 10k. So that's an example of first stride turn. Again, they can G-guard, their power reduce, you have some pressure from here, and you have ability to get more extra drive checks, so your hand's a little bit better too. So onto the following turn. Let's say you come back from that turn. This is your second stride turn, quote unquote. So once you stain everything, you draw your card. You have a couple options. So ideally, you want to be able to Persona Ride. Persona Ride is super valuable with this combo because you're multi-attacking, and your Prison Dragons will benefit from that. So with that, everything's plus 10k in the front row, regardless if they're in the main phase or during the battle phase, superior called wise. Now, the other way to go about it is you can stride into Gredora, you can stride into Overwhelm, other cards, or you can stay on Zorga. I'm going to show that play because it actually does the Alchemy magic. And so one cool trick, if you want to use the G-Zone card, like I mentioned, not only that you activate it to minus 10k, you can actually get rid of the Prison Dragon that you still have left on rearguard, because sometimes they'll leave it there, so that way it's not in the drop zone to get the benefit from there, and you reduce their power. And then with Zorga's skill, you can Soul Blast the same Prison Dragon and discard a card to get an order like Clouded Miasma. I'm going to use this as an example, and then if you have any other rearguards, like let's say Hell Demise, if you use a card like Clouded Miasma, for example, then use this. You'll Alchemy Magic, let's say with Wandering Soul, so you have triple drive for Zorga, and you revive a card like the Moth. And then because you Alchemy Magic, these Prison Dragons come out on their own. This goes to the drop. And again, you could do double the crit, or have the crit and the 10k as well. And the Moth, you can rest it and return the Hell Demise. And let's say I just return it, but I'm just gonna put it over here. And you can countercharge. So you can see you can be very resourceful, and you can able to save the Hell Demise for later for like another Gredora turn. So that's just a quick example. But if you didn't recycle that immediately, then you can just have it as a booster. Or a better example would be the Brilliant Blister, and I'll show you why in this case. So at this point you have a field built up, and what's also cool with Clouded Miasma gives it plus 10k to the front row. Then you Persona Road, and then of course you got the G-Zone card that reduced 10k, so there's like a 30k difference onto these units. And Prison Dragon also got an addition plus 10k with their own skills, so they're very big, 48k. So these are 48k columns, and it's just as simple as that, really. Just attacking with the Vanguard first, so depending on the triggers you got, you can give the power to all these units and accordingly, and then attack like that. So it's a very straightforward play, but it's just kind of cool just being able to consistency to do this play. So at the end of the turn, you got a card like Brilliant Blister that actually bounces back, so you +1 in the hand, but it's Brilliant Blister, so you can guard with it again, do its skill to disrupt a play. This will go back to the drop zone, but you can keep recycling them with a card like Clouded Miasma, so that way these will bounce back to your hand turn after turn, and it's just very annoying for the opponent. Or you can use cards like the Moth to return like Hell Demise to reuse it. So that way you can just go out for the next turn too as well. And so there are other cards too, like for example, if you still have Prison Dragons, especially if you stride, you can use a card like Tearful Malice to retire them. And due to the normal order timing, they actually will come back. I don't know how that works, but it does. So that's another play that you can do, which also gives you resources too. And that's pretty much all of the combos that I want to show with Zorga Megacolony. If you want to see the deck list, this is actually on my friend's channel, on Duke Cardfight's channel. So he has a lot of Megacolony content out there, and stoicheia too, like meshes too. So this was actually his idea, and he wanted me to have some insight into it, and so I started messing with it, kind of putting my Grand Blue experience into it, and Zorga experience in general too. It's actually really fun because it makes you think. And just like with Grand Blue players, you just like to think about the depth and the combos you can do. I don't think it's super busted as a competitive deck, but it's definitely a more casual, fun deck too. So if you want to try it out, have fun with some friends, definitely recommend it. And again, check out his channel for the deck profile, and I'll provide the link in the description below. And so for that, on to the next one, amigos. Bye.